Why do we overcomplicate things? This is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's really bothering me. I recently got done with this video series called 26 Life Lessons I've Learned as a 26-year-old. And it was a really inspiring project for me because I started it in February, and the reason I started it was because it would force me to consistently create content. And this is something that I've been struggling with for God knows how long. Pretty much my entire existence of wanting to make YouTube a full-time thing or just make videos is that I would always get caught up in my own head about things. I would constantly worry about if the lighting looks great, or if my microphone looks good, or if I have the proper visuals. And it didn't help being on social media or watching other creators make great content, because every time I would watch their stuff, I would feel less inspired to create my own. And you would think that it would work the opposite, where sometimes if you find someone that's really good or really good at their craft, it inspires you to push yourself harder to get better. But sometimes it doesn't work like that, because when the skill gap is so monumental, it's hard to think that you can actually make headway and close the gap on people that you look up to. When I kept overthinking things, that meant I didn't take time to script videos. I didn't take time to record videos. I didn't take time to edit videos. Instead, I would get stuck in my head and get stuck in kind of like in this depressive, really sad state of just not wanting to do anything, because I felt like, well, what's the point of doing it if someone XYZ out there is gonna do it better than me, or they're gonna take an idea I probably had in my head and make it better. And I don't think I officially have gotten out of my own head, but I do think there was little things I did to make the process a little bit easier. I just started taking little actions each and every day. So for me, that meant taking little time out of my day to take time to script, take time to edit. Doing all of that ensured that I stayed basically on this hamster wheel of creating content. And I know that sounds a little bit bad because you don't want to think of content as like a hamster wheel, but hear me out. What I mean by that is when you start developing the action or the habit of doing something. So let's say, for example, you start going to the gym. We all know that the hardest thing about going to the gym is actually the first day of going. But the thing is, when you consistently show up for yourself and go to the gym each and every month, all of a sudden you've started to build up this momentum. And now that you build up this momentum, it's almost like a snowman where you don't want to let go of that momentum and you want to just keep building it. And I felt like for me, that's the mentality I needed to take when it came to video creation or content creation, is that I just needed to keep doing something that resembled content creation to keep me going in order to build that snowman of making videos. So I say that to you because, man, I've struggled with this my entire life, and now approaching my late 20s, reaching Unk status, 27 soon. But the big thing I realize is that it gets really hard. I think as you get older, you would think that it gets easier to stop thinking or stop caring about what people think, but I feel like it's actually the opposite. When you're younger, it's actually a little bit easier to just start doing stuff because you're like, who cares? Who cares what people think? I'm just gonna do me. But as you get older, I feel like sometimes those thoughts and those opinions of what other people may think about what you're doing and what you're trying to pursue can get in your own head. And because of that, it makes you overcomplicate everything. It makes you want to only publish stuff or create stuff if you know it's gonna be perfect. But that's wrong, because there's no such thing as perfect. I think we've all heard all these great musicians, great artists, great filmmakers, that there's never a perfect project. And the best thing we can do is just put out the best stuff that we can and put out stuff that is true to our hearts. And that's something I've been trying to do. And I think thinking about that, and also thinking about just making daily habits or daily progress, really helps get my mind out of thinking about the really complicated stuff and just staying true to making stuff that is true to me and that resonates with me. Because I think if we can all do that, I think it can really help us get out of our own heads and consistently make the stuff that we want to make and stop caring about what other people think. Because ultimately, everyone is caught up in their own lives, and the only thing we can do is just stay true to ourselves and make the best stuff possible. So I hope this was helpful, because I know I've been in my own head recently, and I hope that this video can serve as motivation to get out of your own head and continue creating and continue doing the things that you want to do. Thanks for watching. Yash.